Bada bing bada.
Hi.
Hi.
Mhm.
It's been a day, it's been a week, it's been
It's been a week
lifing.
in this day.
Yes. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. 3 weeks, actually. 3 weeks in this day.
Been about 3 weeks. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
actually one of my favorite songs, but
Tori today is Weary Wolf, and she was just telling me a really funny story of how our studio names the episodes, and it just takes the first word from each of our names. So it was Mad and Weary, right? That was
Mhm.
so maybe
Yeah.
that's just the episode's name now.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And that's just it feels so fitting
Yeah.
to how the week has been and the year and our lives.
Yeah.
Amber this week is mad at the big light. She is mad at the big light, but that is also her username this week as
Mhm.
well. So
Yeah.
she is mad. And that's so fair. I mean,
Yeah. I came
that
in
doesn't
this
even need
room
context.
and
Oh,
and the big light was off. Oh, I'm going to give context. Totally going to give
I
context.
appreciate that. Yeah.
The big light was off and I was like, "Oh, that's so nice. What if I just sat in the dark and
Well,
recorded?"
happy Halloween. Maybe we should just turn the lights off for this
You know,
episode.
I was like with the ring light, I would still be illuminated, right?
I've tried that and it
Does it
does
work?
no, and I want it
Damn
to
it.
so bad. Yeah, I do. I want it to so bad. It doesn't.
Yeah, no, I just so yeah, just pissed that I had to have that shit on.
I just want to say too, happy Halloween to everyone. By the time this comes out, it'll be a few days after Halloween, but I hope all you ghosties enjoyed. And we're doing Pikachu and Ash. Did I? I don't think I've said that yet.
We did.
We did. Just kidding. I hope all the ghosties enjoy.
Yeah, I hope everyone gets haunted.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think have I
You've
told the story of why I take my kids to 7-Eleven to get Slurpees?
yes. I don't know if you've told it on the podcast.
Okay,
Ooh, I don't know.
so when I was growing up, our house was kind of far from town. It was like 30 minutes. So once you went home, like you weren't coming back. And my parents also just loved 7-Eleven. Like they either needed coffee or cigarettes at all times. So they were always at 7-Eleven. And my dad always, like, if we were going fishing and we stopped at 7-Eleven, then I would get like a Slurpee or a Cherry Coke and a Slim Jim or something like that. Or if he stopped on his
Classic.
way home from work, he would get us like a peppermint patty or something.
Oh,
And so now
those are
I
great
I
choices.
right, like just great things. And so a while back I told my kids that like I needed to start taking them to 7-Eleven for Slurpees and peppermint patties more so that my dad didn't haunt me. My dead dad didn't haunt me. And like I think it was like the second or third time we intentionally did it to avoid the haunting. My son James told the cashier at 7-Eleven that we were there so that my dead dad didn't haunt me.
What did the cashier say?
They just giggled and they were like, "No, that makes like total sense." They were so nice about it. And of course my
Oh my
face was
god.
so red. But anyway, for Halloween, he said maybe we just don't go get the Slurpees and the peppermint patties so that we'll get haunted because it's all.
My god. He's bright. He's a bright
I
crayon for sure.
know it's like
Sharp.
what a mind. I just
I love it.
oh
And happy
god.
Halloween.
Yes,
It's
and on that note.
amazing. That's amazing. We have a ton of updates tonight.
Yeah, like
Um,
where did that even come from? We just recorded 2 days ago.
I know. That's fun.
Who are we?
Right after we recorded, right after we got off recording, what was it, Saturday night?
Yeah.
I'm watching the Eras tour. It was about surprise song time. Taylor calls Sabrina on stage. First, she starts like playing espresso, and I'm like, what? That's odd. And then she calls Sabrina on stage, and Sabrina's under the stage, and they have this cute little phone exchange. And then Sabrina
Yeah.
pops up on stage, and we got Tabrina mashups, and that was just so cool. Also, like, I feel like so we had just seen Sabrina,
Yeah.
so by degrees of separation, I think we're best friends with Taylor and
Yeah,
Sabrina.
that's the only explanation for that. That was for us, that
Oh
whole
my
thing.
gosh, that was so cool.
It was epic. And they just looked so cute performing together.
No.
Just so, like,
What
comfortable
songs
with
did
each
they
other.
do? I know they did Espresso. Was it
Please,
Taste or
please,
Please,
please.
Please, Please?
Please,
Okay,
please,
Please, Please,
please.
Please. And then
And
they did
then
300 Coffees Later. Is that Glitch?
no, it's 1989 TV. Is it over?
Is it over now? Yeah. Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so they did Espresso, I think Please, 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 and Is It Over Now?
which was a
And it was
great
just so
mashup.
cool seeing both of them. Yes, and seeing
Yes.
both of them like sing each other's songs too.
Yeah.
5 stars, loved it. 10 stars.
25.
Hmm.
25 stars.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Mhm. I just can't believe that neither one of us added TRL on the Do You Remember list. I feel like that was a keystone in our childhood. Like,
Yeah. I
I
don't know how
sat
that didn't.
around so much music television,
Oh, yeah. And you don't get
right?
to. I mean, thank
Right?
God for reality because we do get a lot of reality TV on MTV now.
Yeah. And they're like, I guess we are getting more and more documentaries from people's tours, like Olivia Rodrigo's.
Yes.
Did you watch that yet? Her tour just
I
came out on
haven't, and I
Netflix.
really want to. Yeah.
Same. I just keep forgetting about it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Amber went full detective mode this week. She sent me a TikTok of Ashley from Love is Blind, who and Amber was very keen to notice that Ashley did not have a ring on her finger.
Yeah.
So the reunion is coming on in 20 minutes, and Amber and I will be recording. It will definitely be what I put on as I go to bed tonight.
Yeah.
And we were going to cover that next week. We really wanted to cover it this week, but for some reason, Netflix just didn't release it until 9 p.m. What is that? I
Yeah.
can understand like
It's
6, 9.
I just think like if you're gonna release something, release it first thing in the morning even. Like when new seasons of things drop on most streaming apps, it's like at midnight that whatever
Or
day
like
it comes
3
out.
a.m.
Yeah.
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 And what is the
Um
viewership difference? Like, I wonder if it even,
right. It
like,
can't it can't be that I don't know.
yeah.
Th- There's got to be a valid reason for it for them to do it, right? Like you would think anyway. Um
Mm-hmm.
So the next update is that we did get an email about a waterbed, and I know Tori is
Okay.
just like dying to know what I'm
Chomping
talking
at the
about.
bit. She just wrote
So
this in there.
yes, so technically the email was a text message, but it was labeled as an email, and
Okay.
it says email to out of touch from Henrietta.
Oh.
And she says is my dad still has a waterbed, and she put like the dinosaur emoji.
Amazing. Oh my God, the dino emoji.
Yeah, which I thought was hilarious. And also love that she texted it but made sure to label it an email because we're always begging you
Begging.
guys to email us. So
Mhm.
thank you for that, Henrietta. I'm glad to know at least one person out there is still sleeping on a waterbed. And he seems like a pretty active guy. So I mean, the bed
Okay.
doesn't appear to be holding him back.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I
Just saying.
wonder what his like back pain, if he experiences any or not.
Right. Or is
That's
it like
awesome.
none because you sleep on a cloud of water?
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Henrietta. I really appreciate that.
So cool.
So cool. We got an email.
We did. It counts.
Mhm.
It totally counts. Apparently, there are Ubers without drivers. And I'm sorry, but this is new information to me, like within the last couple of days. And I'm just pissed because we took not one, but two Ubers last weekend. And I would have loved to opt in for the version with no human driving. Like, yeah, car, drive me around with I don't have to be awkward and like ignore the person driving. Great. Sign me up.
Yeah. Can you sit in the passenger seat then? You know?
Right. Can I sit in the driver's seat just to be safe? Like just in case someone needs to slam on the brakes.
That is the one thing that freaks me out, but I'm sure it's like I'm sure it's fine, but
I
it
mean, it's a
looks
little
cool.
cuckoo, but like I
Like,
would do it.
taking out the awkwardness of like, do you talk to this person? Do you
Yeah.
not want to? Are they in the mood? Are you in the mood? Like removing all of that. That's a lovely thing. I would risk my life for it,
Yeah.
honestly.
At least once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll
Agree.
see how it goes. Maybe more.
Yeah. Who knows? Down the line, see how well the car does. And most humans can't drive that well. So,
That's a great point. There's quite a few Uber drivers I've been in the car with, and I did not feel safe. So, like with their
yeah.
driving. So, what's going on this week? Amber sent me the much anticipated Southern Charm trailer. And I think we may have talked about Southern Charm a little bit on here, but this is one of the first reality shows Amber and I discovered that we had in common.
Oh my
Back when I
god.
was living with Amber in 2020. And
Yeah.
so it's really just a special part of our friendship, I feel like.
Mhm. Yeah.
And we really look forward to it. What are we going in season 10 now?
Oh my god, I don't even know. Is that what it
I think
is?
it is. I'm pretty sure,
That's a
yeah, because I've
lot.
Googled it 18 times to find out when it's going
No,
to
that
come
makes
out.
sense. When I'm thinking about, like, the timing of, like, when it came out, that does make sense. It's crazy how much the cast has changed. I was just thinking about this when the trailer
Yes.
dropped. There's only who is left from the original cast? Craig
Almost just
and
Craig
Shep,
and Shep and
and that's
Whitney,
it?
who's kind of
Oh,
in and
Whitney.
out.
Yeah. He he is, like, sometimes, like, more of a like, not, like, a full-time
But I
person.
don't think any of the women have been on the whole time, right? I mean, Madison came in pretty early, but she definitely wasn't the first season or two.
Mm-mm. I miss
Um,
Cameron
is
and
Catherine still
Catherine.
on it?
No.
No, Catherine's not. Yeah. I
I miss
loved
Cameron and
Cameron.
Catherine. Yeah, they were good TV.
Mhm,
They were good
mhm.
TV.
It looks like we're gonna get more Paige in this season, which I'm so excited about.
Oh, yeah.
I just love Paige so much. And it seems like they're upset at Craig for like drinking less and like getting his shit together.
Yeah.
Which is
The
very Shep and Austin.
yeah.
So kind of excited to see that play out. And I'm very curious about whatever's going on with Shep with this girl who is a huge fan of the show.
Yeah, and also, did you see that Vanita and JT have a thing in this season? What is
And that
that?
is so hard for me to like. I don't know. Maybe when we see it, like we'll get a different idea. But even when he asked her, and he's like, "Are you picking up what I'm laying down?" and she like kind of nods at him and smiles.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like she was telling the truth. I don't know.
Genuine? Yeah, no. I
Yeah,
can't picture it. She's so, like, cool and classy, and he's a dork.
yeah,
And also he is, like, in love with Taylor, so how can we forget that? Or how can
right.
anybody forget that that's on the cast and friends with Taylor and him?
Yeah, it's gonna be a good season. Looking forward to
Yeah.
that.
I am bummed that Olivia's not coming back.
Yeah. Ugh,
I did like
yeah,
her,
man.
but
I did like her as
it seems
well.
like there
She
was
had a
some
rough
other new
season.
people. She had such a hard season. But yeah, it did seem like there's some new people, so we're excited to check that out.
And it looks like Taylor is gonna be there
Mhm.
again, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Ugh. That whole thing with both of their like siblings passing away was just the strangest like
Yeah, that was
coincidence.
weird.
So sad and so strange. Yeah.
Especially
Um,
when they're, like, in such a weird place with their friendship and they both went through, like, a similar thing, but they can't I imagine, can't entirely lean on each other.
console each other.
Right.
Yeah. That was a sad part of that season for sure. What else is going on this week? This has just been today, but the entirety of today. The goddamn IRS. So I got a notice that said, okay, so I feel like I have to provide a little bit of back context here. I filed my 2021 taxes earlier this year, like a couple months ago, and I was supposed to get a refund for them. And I'm like, cool, that's great. The reason I didn't file them before is because I tried to. They ended up getting rejected, and it was a whole thing. And I thought that there was like only one way I could resubmit it, which was a pain in the ass. So, anyways, I had put it off for a long time. I finally was like, I'm going to get it done. And I did about a month ago. It ended up being easier than I expected, of course. And I got it done, supposed to get a refund. And then I also realized during this process that my 2023 taxes had been rejected as well. And those ones I just never knew. I got the email that the IRS was like processing it, and
Mhm.
I just assumed it went through. And I was going to like print out my tax returns for our divorce paperwork and realize, oh, nope, those are rejected as well. So anyways, I had to resubmit that and fix that, which was a whole thing. And I ended up owing a little bit of money on those ones. So I get a notice in the mail today that says I still haven't gotten my refund, by the way. And this was like over a month ago now. And I'm like, what is going on with that? So I get a notice in the mail today from the IRS saying that I owe them money. And the one that I owed money on, I paid at the time when I filed it. So I was like, what is going on? Y'all owe me money, is what's going on here.
Yeah.
And the audacity you have to send me a letter. You haven't paid me yet. You owe me a lot more money than what is on this little piece of paper that you're saying I owe you.
Yeah, of course.
So I called them, waited on the phone for 2 hours. It ended up being that like I was getting some kind of late fees that it said I wasn't going to get when I filed, but whatever. I don't care. I'm not arguing it. It's not that much money. I'm just going to pay it because I don't want to deal with it. Whatever. I'll pay that. And then while I'm on the phone with the IRS, I'm like, so what is going on with the refund that I'm supposed to be getting? And the lady's like, oh, yeah, I see there's some kind of problem with that, but I can't see what. I have to transfer you to this other department for you to see what. And I'm on the phone. I've already been on the phone about an hour and a half now. She transfers me. It's about 45 minutes that I'm on hold. After the transfer, someone answers. She's working through it. These people were very nice, I will say, and I appreciated that. She's working through it. She finally comes back after like 4 or 5 times putting me on hold, and she's like, okay, I finally found the problem. And I'm like, oh, thank God. What's going on? She's like, ma'am, are you there? I'm like, hello,
No.
hello. I'm hitting mute. I'm hitting unmute. I'm just hitting random buttons so she can hear that, yes, I'm still on the line. Don't hang up. She couldn't hear me. So she was like, she was just going ma'am for like 2 minutes and I guess couldn't hear me. So she's like, I'm writing what I found in your notes, but you'll have to call back to like hear what it
Oh my
is.
God. Thank goodness she didn't just like ditch it
I
where it was
know.
at, you know?
Yeah. So I did call back. I was on hold again for an hour this time. And the guy answers and he's like, I need to do research into your account now. And he did see what she said, and she even put in the notes that she apologizes and she's sorry she had to hang up on me,
Oh,
which is very nice. Very
that's so
nice.
cute.
And it ends up that the IRS just they weren't quite convinced that I am me. So I had to get transferred to another department to go through some verification process. And this time they actually had something set up where they will call you back. This is the first time out of all these transfers. One of
Wow.
the departments has had that. Yeah. And they called me back. And once they called me back, I think we got it settled in like 25 minutes finally. But it was like 4.5 hours of being on the phone with the IRS, and they're just going to take that baby bit of money I owe them out of the big bits of money that they owe me, and then they're going to give me the big bits now. So, um,
Finally.
thank
Hallelujah.
thank God.
It only took you 2.5 years plus 4.5 hours.
And it was funny because they're asking me to verify my identity, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even the same person I was when I started this call. This is
Mm-mm.
now. I don't think I am this. I don't know if I can verify myself. They're asking
No.
me questions for my 2020 tax return.
There's no way I'm gonna know that information, ma'am or
No, I'm
sir.
just not me, I guess.
Mm-mm. Dunno. This is who they tell me I am, but I guess you're telling me otherwise, so you must know because you're the government. You would
Right.
think.
So I'm just glad that's done. It was a lot of shenanigans.
It sounds like it was some shenanigans. You let them shenan once, they're gonna shenan again. That was the second tax return was the turning point.
I'm already shuddering at the thought that tax season's almost here again.
Yeah, you
I
better
can't,
just start now.
I simply can't do it anymore.
Yeah, you're just in the tax simulation. You can never get out now. You shouldn't have
Fuck.
entered. Should have just let it be, and that's it.
I've got an identity crisis now that I'm walking away with.
So many more problems. Like, I have so many more questions than when we started.
Yeah.
Oh,
So fuck.
yeah, that sucks. My power won't stop going out. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm over it. It
Yeah.
went out like 4 times today.
It's so weird because like
It was
it's
barely
not
raining.
been
This morning there was a lightning
sprinkling.
storm. So like that I was when it went out for an hour, I was like, okay. But some poor soul took pity on me because as I was packing my computer up to go to Starbucks, the power came back on. So I
Nice.
was not delayed in starting work this morning. So that was good. But yeah, that's really all that's going on this week so far. Just over it already, ready for it to
Yeah.
be. I don't even know. There's so much going on this weekend. I'm like, I don't even want it to be the weekend either.
We're mad and weary, I'll tell you what. And
Definitely.
Amber and I were talking about too on Sunday night, or maybe it was Monday we were talking about it, but it's like every Monday we're like, I didn't get enough rest from the weekend. I'm so tired. I just have to make it through these 5 days and then the weekend will be here and I'll be able to get some rest. And every weekend we just keep getting so piled up with things that we don't get the rest and we end up like this on Sunday and Monday again. And it's been months of it. And
Yeah.
the girlies need a break.
We
Queen.
do. Queen, that's enough. That's
Yeah.
enough out of you, Queen.
So this week we have how do we feel about ... question mark. There will be no explanation, only reputation. And what we mean about this is, do we think she's actually just going to drop it with no announcement? Or what do we think that means?
I do think there is a strong possibility, and I will say I think it would be the most exciting
Yes.
and like badass if it happened that way.
Mhm.
Um
I agree
Yeah. I
with
mean, of
that.
course, like, I just wanna know when it's gonna happen at this point,
Mhm.
but I do think it would be really exciting if we didn't know when it was gonna happen.
I also think that it would be the most exciting way to release
Yeah,
it. I just have doubts that she will do it that way because of all like the pre-sale stuff that she'll miss out on, which has kind of been like her format after like I think folklore was the last one that just dropped without like any knowledge. But I could see her doing reputation, no explanation drop at the same time as something else that did have pre-sales and stuff. Like if she
true.
does TS12 and then almost like the anthology, like it was the first half of Torture Poets Department did have all the sales and the pre-sales and 18 different vinyls and all that.
Insane.
Um, yeah. And we're about to get one more.
Insane. Yeah,
So yeah, I could see it if she like doubles it up and it's like a surprise drop. But it's so hard for me to see her like missing out on all those sales otherwise. But I want what you're saying. I especially with all the marketing they're doing about no explanation. Like I want it to just drop.
yeah. It's it just with the bodysuit and everything too, it
Yes.
just feels like we're not gonna get an explanation, right? Like, just changing it and then, like, we got nothing. We have no idea.
I feel like too, have you seen in the eras like before she walks out for Reputation, they have this screen and there's the images of her in the bodysuit, but it has the taller boots, but it's still the red snakes. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
I don't think I have noticed that offhand.
So it's always been like something that's led us to believe that there is another suit out there. So now I feel like there's got to be three suits because we have the red snakes, the gold snakes, and then there's that one that we see her walking down the stage with in like the back screen and it's got like it looks like knee-high boots on both legs. So with the one leg one, she doesn't have the knee-high boots.
Yeah.
And if she's wearing that at the Eras tour, then I feel like we have to get Reputation before the tour is over so she can wear that bodysuit there.
On the tour. So, when is it over? When is the last show?
December 8th.
Wow, so that's so soon. But then her birthday is only a few days, like 5 days later, right?
Yeah, the 13th.
So, what if she drops Reputation on the last day of the tour and then debut on her birthday.
My God. Debutation. um, yeah. Oh my God.
Wouldn't
I
that be
could see her
crazy?
doing all of them before it's over.
Are you like dead set on TS12?
No, but I am dead set on the poster filling out. So I think we
Yeah.
need one more era, whether it's debut or TS12. So, and I almost feel like if they do that, they have to do it. I mean, you don't want the poster to fill out on the last day of the tour. Like, wouldn't you want there to be like a month where the poster is actually full and complete?
Maybe the tour is going to be extended and we just don't know.
Hope so. I guess I keep thinking that won't happen because the whole magazine comment where they had like an inside source say that Taylor wants to just take some time off to spend with Travis. I think maybe
Oh,
they'll make
I just find
arguments.
those things so hard to believe.
But it is one that like Tree Pain goes to. And then like it was a big I don't know if it was Time Magazine or Rolling Stone. It was like one of those big ones. So I feel like they would have to actually trust and know the source to post that. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to think.
All right, so we're still clowning, Just tune in anytime between now and the end of the year and we'll be clowning it on those days.
All of them.
All of them.
So for Tinder Adventures, the wizard broke up with me, which was a bit abrupt.
It did seem a little abrupt, I'm not gonna lie.
It's not like we were like super close or anything like that. I'm just like, for why? It's like, what do you do with that curiosity?
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
doesn't owe me any kind of explanation. And I do
No,
want one.
no. And I was kind of thinking about that. I was like, well, I guess like if the tables were turned, like, and she was breaking it off with him, like she wouldn't owe him an explanation necessarily. So I'm like, so
No,
he really doesn't either.
no,
But it was and it was like 8 a.m.
it was. And the
It
way
was
he said it was
early.
just so funny too. It was like, I don't think this is the one for me, so I'm just gonna be done with this. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I wish that he had run that through ChatGPT first. Just like, hey, is this okay to say to another human? Because
And again,
abrupt is a really good description.
yeah, yeah. And like again, we weren't like super close or anything. It wasn't like I was really emotionally attached. But I will say the thing that made me the most sad is we were supposed to go on that date to the mini golf place that I have been wanting to go to so bad.
I did think about like how you must be bummed not to be going to that place. And then I was like, oh, well, I should just offer to go. And then I thought about it and I was like, I
You
really
can't.
hate golf.
Oh, well, there's
And
that too
also,
then.
I can't this weekend because I
Yeah.
have a chess tournament to go to for my son. But also, I hate golf. I hate golf.
Even
I
mini
will go
golf?
play. Yes,
Oh, wow. Okay.
that's a hard pass
I don't think
for
I've ever
me.
met anyone who doesn't like mini golf that much.
Yeah, that ain't it.
Your face.
Ugh. I am not a golfer. Now, disc golf, I think disc golf is super fun.
Okay.
It's a little
I'll take
weird.
that.
It's a little
Yeah.
weird, like a little wacky, I would say.
Yeah.
I like that. Regular golf, mini golf,
Oh.
top golf, no.
Like Top Golf, but I just feel like it's not worth what you pay. Like I'd
Yeah,
rather go play mini golf.
yeah. Interesting.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's the biggest heartbreak I'm feeling over this.
Yeah, that's okay.
I
I feel
gotta
like we
find
weren't
someone else
that
who will go with me.
invested anyway. And it was
No.
more so like he seemed very supportive.
Yes.
And
But
nice.
I was kind of like realizing too in the like day or two before that it did seem like he never laughed at my jokes. So maybe that's it. It's like this girl is so unfunny. But yeah, he never
I have a hard time believing that one, but
he
whatever
wouldn't
you say.
I would make jokes and he would just leave me on red. And I'm like, where did you go, sir? Like, this is where you
It's
insert the laughter.
yeah,
You at least haha react. Like, so I think there was just some personality not alignments
yeah, that's fine.
going on there. But I am St. Paul and I are in the process of planning another date. We're just trying to like figure it out schedule wise, but I think we're gonna go to a hockey game probably next week or so. So that'll be
Ooh, that's
fun.
fun.
Mhm.
Funny text of the week.
Okay, so my first funny text from the week, again, it's Shoshana as the star. This is from our Girl Gang Snapchat group, and she had sent a snap of she has twins, and her partner was kind of holding the girl twin, and then like the boy twin was like approaching them with like kind of like opening his mouth, almost looked like he was gonna like go in for a bite. And I responded to that and I said, uh-oh, and I don't know if I should say his name, but I said, uh-oh, he had the gobble look in his eyes. And I said, Finn gets that look sometimes too. And then I'm usually going, ouch, after LOL. And then Shoshana replied and said, a nibbling glare? Question mark. And I just thought that was the funniest a nibbling glare.
Yes.
And yeah, that's that one, pretty much.
Okay, so my first funny text of the week is from Birdie, and it's short, sweet, and to the point. It's from Monday at 6:58 p.m. I don't know why I feel like that context makes it funnier, but it does. And she called me and I didn't pick up, and she texted and said, "Just calling to tell you that BG's new favorite song is about a rat tail." That's it.
Is this like a ponytail
And
rat tail or like a rat's
yeah, like
tail?
a
A
rat
ponytail rat
tail.
tail. Okay. Okay.
I don't know actually. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
ask for more context. That was kind of all I needed um
Mhm.
to know. So,
Love that. Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Maybe we'll get that in updates next week.
Okay. Maybe in an email.
Oh, wink wink.
So my next text is with from Amber. We were trying to workshop the title of our TikTok caption, which is always a real struggle for me, and Amber helps out greatly in that department. She's very talented in that department, and I am not. And I was kind of throwing some things out to Amber, and she very politely said, I need to ask ChatGPT to workshop this. Hang tight." And I said, "I'm so glad you said hang tight. You know, how I get impatient. I was about to just throw something out there, even though I know it's not right." And Amber said, "Girl, baby girl, I will get you a good caption with the Italian hand." Um, and then she said she sends the caption that she worked through with ChatGPT, and it says, "Trying to be cool girls, but giving off in sparkles, dumb and poetic instead." And then she said, "LMAO, did ChatGPT just roast us?"
No, because I was reading it and I was like, no, that's really funny. I was like, it's funny, but like it's kind of dickish. Like
Yeah.
ChatGPT being a dickhead? Like,
ChatGPT.
okay, all right.
It's a little
But also,
behind the scenes too.
yeah, and then Tori was able to take it a step further, and what we landed on was actually like so good. So it ended up being something like trying to leave quite an impression, but giving dumb and poetic instead. So we doubled up on the Sabrina lyrics. So
Can't go wrong with that.
yeah, that was
Mhm.
a 3-person job. That caption, me, you, and ChatGPT really gave it our all.
And ChatGPT was kind of a dick, but I'll take
A
it because
little
I
bit.
do appreciate it. Yeah.
It's because I
It's
yell at
kind
it
of
sometimes. I'm like,
dumb and
that's not
poetic.
funny. My next text is also from Birdie. I was telling her about the typo that I made when I tried to text you Venmo and I texted you Venom. And then how, and I think we talked about this in the last episode, and how it corrected son of a bitch to son of a birch. And so we're talking about Siri, because she's messing up Birdie's text. And I was like, yep, she's just a big old birch. And Birdie replies, big old maple, stupid hoe. What you doing today?
The duality.
Just having two conversations at once, that's all.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Big ol' maple.
What you doing?
What are you doing though?
So, what are we consuming this week? Looks like we got another book update.
So I haven't gotten that much further in Throne of Glass. We're in chapter 6. Birdie is, the last time I checked in, she was at chapter 10, so she's a little bit ahead of me.
Oh, she's
And
zipping.
she did voice note me that we needed to discuss the character names and their pronunciations. I think I was pronouncing the main character's name Selena, and it's actually Selena. So the
Okay.
way it's spelled, it's actually, if you look at the third bullet point, the correct spelling is in there. It's the one that starts with CEL.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it's actually Selena, and I
Yeah.
just can't get that into my head. Now, my next favorite thing is Birdie's pronunciation of this next person. So if you, I need you to refer to bullet point 2. You see that word there.
Yes.
Okay, could you just give me your best guess as to how you think that is pronounced?
Trowels.
That is hilarious because that is Birdie's. That was Birdie's. She was like, "Chow, it's Chow,
Like
it's
foul,
Chow.
yeah,
What do you
but
think?
chow
It's Chow." And I asked my husband the same question,
or
and
coal.
he was like, "Well, kale. It's kale, obviously," which is correct. I just couldn't believe how
Wow.
fast he got it.
Yeah.
And I have heard some people in the book community, um, sort of like how some people say crown instead of crayon, like Tori. Um, I have heard some people call him kale instead of kale.
I can see that.
But we got a little further into some of the lore, and I didn't realize this when I was summarizing last week. So magic is outlawed in Throne
Yeah.
of Glass, and but Selena does mention that she has magic in her blood, but she doesn't have any power, and she references like losing her powers. And so I just want to go ahead and say that like I feel like there's more to it than what we're hearing. Um
Yeah.
because oftentimes in these books, like any lead character who is like seen as like weak or anything like that, they usually wind up being like the really powerful one. And so they're also like they're
Definitely.
on a journey to go to this championship so she can compete against the other assassins. And it's a pretty far journey that they're just like on horseback, and they go through these woods, and all the men, all of course all the big burly men are like afraid of the woods and are like, oh, why is it so quiet all of a sudden? And she's like, y'all better put some respect on this forest's name, okay? It used to be like where the witches lived and stuff. Next
So
week.
she has magic in her blood. Do you think she just doesn't do magic because it's outlawed? Or
Maybe,
is she
or
just like doesn't know it
it,
because it's outlawed? Like she doesn't know how.
no, I think she knew how. I think it seems like something happened that we don't know that much about
Her
to
magic.
where that took her magic. And it being
Okay.
outlawed, once it was outlawed, like she says, like magic just kind of disappeared, like it didn't exist anymore. Um,
Oh, okay.
so we'll see. I don't know
Someone's
what
got
that
a tank full of
means.
magic somewhere. They're hoarding it.
Somebody, somebody.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's probably the people who outlawed it.
Great point.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that. So we'll see. TBD.
I've been continuing to watch The Great, which is about Catherine the Great. Um, and it is so good, dude. You should watch it.
Nice.
It's like this season has gotten pretty emotional. It was funny because
Hmm.
last week I was like, oh, it's not very soap opera-y. It's not as dramatic. It's still not soap opera-y, I would say, but it is this season has been very dramatic. It's the first time I've cried from like anything on TV in a long time. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, it's been very good. Um,
Okay.
so I recommend it.
Cool.
I don't know if
I
I
mean,
should
not
like
cool
get
that
into
you
what
cried.
actually happened. Yeah,
I don't know. I might actually watch that. That sounds,
right. So I think I'm gonna keep it vague.
yeah. Okay, cool. This
There's
is the
only
one that
three
you said is like
seasons.
kind of funny too, right?
Yeah, it's definitely got like a humory side to it too, but it's not like a comedy. Okay, so this week we have a list of things that give us the ick,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll let Amber lead the charge here.
This one, I feel really strongly about. So, I think we said this in the last episode that the title of last week's list was originally going to be "Do You Member," which I just puked a little because I have such a hard time saying it. And I was thinking about it a little bit more this week. I think maybe it's because did you watched Austin Powers movies growing up, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
do you
that
remember
ew,
Gold Member?
yeah,
I feel like maybe
that
that
gives
is
me
part of the
the ick.
reason. Austin
Like Austin
Powers or
Powers
Goldmember?
movies no, but all of it. Yeah, Austin
Oh,
Powers
see,
movies in general.
that's funny. I'm kind of nostalgic about them. Interestingly enough, I hate saying, "Do you remember?" And maybe that's why. But also I think it just like sounds goofy in a way that like pisses me off, and I'm not really
Okay,
sure why. Um,
okay,
yep, that gives me the ick. That's
okay.
strong ick.
Here's a couple of mine. Men not voting. That's a big one
Mm,
for me. I don't think I need to get into it, but it gives me the ick.
yep.
Um, when the mustache hangs over the upper lip, when it like kind of and I know I've talked about this when I talked about like
Yes.
getting into Tinder dating again, but mm, that is so icky to me. Like, ugh,
Yeah.
I cannot. I'm doing a left swipe motion here, and it's like you don't. You're just getting hair that's wrapped around the lip instead of the lip itself, and it
Mm-mm.
is. It's not it, and that's coarse hair usually too. It's not. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's not it for
Mm-mm.
me. When they don't laugh at my jokes,
That's fair.
yeah,
Especially
it's
when
just
they
like
just leave you on red. Like, there's
right.
nothing,
When I wrote
not
this,
even like a little LOL.
right. Yeah, when I wrote this, I wasn't even thinking about that like instance, but yeah,
If the shoe fits.
being rude to anyone in hospitality.
Yes.
That's a big ick.
Yes. That is a big ick. That really bugs me too. I'm like overly nice to the servers. I'm like, I stacked all the plates neatly for you and I tipped 30%. So,
Oh my gosh. I meant to say when we were telling the Sabrina Carpenter story, I meant to mention how I accidentally way over tipped our server at the sushi place.
I totally forgot about this. Yeah, so gratuity was already added and Tori added more and so did I, but Tori added a lot more because she thought it was like the whole she didn't realize the tip was already up there to some extent. And I just thought you read it, so I didn't say anything. I did see it.
Mm.
And I
I
was
read
like,
only
well, I
the
still want
number.
to leave them a little bit more because they were awesome. Yeah, that's great. Don't be rude to servers. Just don't do that.
No.
Okay. Another ick for me is men who talk over me, especially in meetings. And I kind of told this story on Snapchat today where I had a meeting with my client's marketing company and my client a few, like, this was a couple months ago now. And the marketing guy was trying to tell me what he needed from me. And I was there to ask questions and make sure I understood the request so that we could complete it for them. And I asked him a question because there were multiple ways that this request could have been completed. As anything in tech, there's multiple ways to do it. So I was asking a question and he like very condescendingly replied, well, I don't know. I'm not going to do your job for you. When the client was on the call, with us.
Oh
And
my
I just
God.
on the call was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to take my best guess. And if that's not the right thing, then that's on you for not answering my question. Like, and so
Oh
then,
my gosh.
yeah. And so we've been
Nick.
making a lot of updates for this particular client because they just hired this new marketing company. And so they submitted another request that was in the same vein as that one that we had the call about a few months ago. And they made a mistake on their end. And the client reached out to us last week and they were like, hey, this isn't working right. Can you take a look at it? And I did. And as I was taking a look at it, I was like, I am like 100% sure that this mistake is on the marketing team's side of what they put together. So they built something and gave me the code for it. And I just took the code and put it on the page that already existed. I didn't even build a new page. And their code was wrong because they built their thing wrong. And so that's why the mistake was happening. And I asked them that earlier this week. I was like, hey, marketing company, can you check and make sure that this link is correct for both of these? Because they're the only two that aren't working. And there's like 15 other ones that are working. And he must have talked to the client at some point because she responds for him in the email chain that we're all on and says, oh, they already did that. The link is set on their side and it's still not working. And so then I was like, no, nobody is showing me anything. I have no proof that this is done correctly. So I'm going to log into their
Right.
side of things and I'm going to find this setting and I'm going to make sure that it's set correctly. And it took me all of 3 minutes to find the problem and fix it. They spelled the client's domain wrong, like completely wrong. And I'm like, well, of course it's not going to the right place because you didn't type in the right website. I don't know whose website that is. It's not our clients.
My gosh.
So
But here you are
yeah,
doing his job.
correct. And so I sent
Yeah.
back receipts and I made sure that it was very
I
clear that I
love
was
that.
saying where the error was and that it was not on my team's side, but we still found it and fixed it. So you're welcome. Yeah, so that was just karma was just really my boyfriend
It's the
in
breeze
that.
in your hair.
It really was. There was a breeze going by me, that's for sure. Yeah. Big ick for me.
My last thing that gives me that ick, well, the last thing that I thought of for this list, I'm sure this list will be repeated because I will continually find things to add to this one. Anyone knocking on my door for anything, unless I do have a little caveat here. Unless you are the Instacart delivery person with my wine. Otherwise, if you're the Instacart person and you do not have wine, why are you knocking at my door? Someone they did that today.
Leave the groceries if you don't need
At
my
the door.
ID.
That's what I selected. It's milk.
That's what I put in there.
It's not
In
wine.
three different places I put leave it at my door.
Yeah.
I put don't ring the doorbell. Don't knock.
Don't ring the doorbell.
Nobody's here. Okay. We're clocked out right now.
Yes.
We're not answering the doorbell.
So,
ever.
That's a big ick. Yeah.
I'm really hoping that at some point in my homeownership, I'm able to install a moat whenever someone presses the doorbell
Oh, what a
and
lovely idea.
they just fall down in there and my alligators just have
Bring
dessert.
back the milk.
I definitely need a moat. I mean, we live in Florida. I feel like that the law would dictate that we can have moats.
Yeah, it's
Like
more
that, where are all the
wetland
gators going to go?
Right. More wetland environments for the gators to
Yeah.
offset all the development.
Safe. Yeah.
So safe.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Can you imagine your kids like, can I go play with my friend? Yeah, just be careful over the moat, honey.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like,
Don't
I
ride
accidentally
Spike over
moat
the moat.
my neighbor's kid. Like, I thought it was the delivery driver. I'm so sorry. Your kid is in the moat. There's nothing we can do now.
Should have told him not to ring the doorbell.
Yeah, well, if you had read the sign that said not to ring the doorbell, you wouldn't be in the moat. So,
Like, I can't read yet. Sorry.
Never quitting the bit.
Okay, so for story time this week, we have an Am I the Asshole segment. Okay, so this one's called Am I the Asshole for Canceling My Wife's Birthday Party After She Called My Sister a Leech? What are your thoughts? I like to get a pre who's the asshole.
Can you imagine being called a leech, first of all? I'm gonna say no,
Not the asshole. Okay.
not the asshole.
My wife's birthday party was supposed to be this Friday. I actually wanted her present to be a surprise this year. It is not uncommon that my wife will open an Amazon package thinking it was something else, ruining the present surprise. My sister and her do not have the best relationship, and it is due to different values. They basically disagree on everything, but the big thing that my wife hates is that my sister has asked for money or help. We have a shared account and keep separate money. I will lend my sister cash, but I haven't had to do that in a while. I lend her from my account, not the shared account. She also pays me back. So I sent my wife's present to my sister's house and was going to pick them up on Thursday. I got a text from my sister saying she got the packages and my wife saw the text. She made a comment about giving handouts out again. She basically told me enough was enough and that I need to stop sending her shit. She called my sister a leech that can't get her shit together, this resulting in an argument, and I told her that she was holding her birthday present, but I am returning them now. I am also canceling the dinner party. Another big argument, and I did cancel the plan and asked my sister to return the packages. My
Um,
wife is pissed at me and called me a jerk, and I told her that this is her own fault.
I'd like to
You better.
retract my
Okay.
initial answer officially.
Okay.
Just make sure I get right with her story.
Hmm.
What the fuck? First of all, it's like a complete misunderstanding, right? Because the wife thinks that it's one thing, but it's another. But like, how could she have known that? And
Right.
also,
But
maybe the sister is a leech.
maybe, but it does sound like she isn't. So there's also an everyone sucks here option. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that to you. So there's
Oh,
not
you
the
have told me that, but
asshole.
I've forgotten. Everybody here is the asshole. Yeah, that's mhm.
Yeah. I
Like
feel like
they just
everyone
all
sucks
suck.
here.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't sound like his sister's that bad because when she does borrow money, it's
she does
not
pay it back.
affecting the household and she pays it back. Um, why would he cancel her birthday
Yeah,
party
that
because
seems
of
like
this
such an
agreement? Like,
extreme to go to because of like I feel like you'd have to say a lot worse things than like your sister's a leech for me to be like your birthday is canceled. Like
right.
I don't know, it's just like really far to go. Like is this the hill you want to die on? How do you recover from canceling your wife's birthday?
That's crazy. Yeah, honestly, that's a great question. Yeah, can we get a
Yeah,
Here's the next one. Am I the asshole because I will not watch anything more complicated than a Hallmark movie with my wife? It's our initial judgment.
I'm just going to say yes just to like be sure we're with the girls here.
No, I love that. I love that. Okay. Here we go. I love my wife. She is intelligent and sweet. Also, she is beautiful inside and out. She teaches high school English and social studies. She loves novels and usually has several on the go. However, she cannot follow the plot of a movie to save her life, unless it is about a big city lawyer saving her hometown to shut down the local factory, but instead reconnecting with her high school boyfriend, who is also the local baker and mayor.
And
I've
Mayor.
known this about her. I've known this about her for years and I've accepted it. I just like vegging with her, so I'm happy to see white people rediscovering the magic of Christmas or whatever. When we were dating, watch when we were dating, we watched The Matrix. The question she asked me had me wondering about her. Ditto for anything complex. Even the usual suspects where they lay everything out for you, she didn't get the ending. We had her sister and brother in law over for couples night on Friday. We made a supper, and the plan was to watch a movie. Her sister wanted to watch Shutter Island. I will not spoil it, but the movie has many twists. The ending is awesome. I tried my best to suggest anything else. The new Laura Dern movie where she bangs the kid from Hunger Games. They all ganged up on me and said they were watching Shutter Island. My wife proceeded to embarrass herself by not understanding the ending and asking questions that were not great. Her sister and husband were looking at my wife like she was Simple Jack. I tried my best to cover for her or telling her I would explain it later. She got mad at me for not answering her questions. After they left, she started in on me. She said that she noticed that we always watch a certain kind of movie and that she thought I enjoyed them. I said I did because we got to spend time together and that made me happy. She said that she was not an idiot and that she just didn't concentrate on movies. She recited the plots of several novels to prove her point. I said that I never commented on her intelligence and that she was smarter than me. She says that I'm a jerk for not watching movies I enjoy with her. So I agreed and we watched Memento today. I think I saw her head almost exploded from the bot asking questions. I saw her on Wikipedia reading the plot. Am I the asshole for intentionally not watching complicated movies with my wife?
I'm gonna once again, I think, retract my statement.
Okay.
I don't think he's the asshole.
Okay.
It's not even worth it. If you have to explain it to them every single time, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I can see that point. The way I responded, this one I felt the need to actually comment on. And the way I responded, I just said, yes, the asshole. But I said, I can totally understand him being kind of frustrated with her like lack of attention for movies. It's not that she's not smart. I'm the same way with movies. I can't
Yeah.
watch movies because I can't pay attention. Um, and I can understand that being frustrating, but like it sounds like he's embarrassed by her, like when she's with her family and stuff. He's like, she's embarrassing herself. And it's like, is she
Yeah,
or are
you're right.
you embarrassed by her?
He does kind of sound embarrassed of her. I was going to say that no one's
And
really the asshole in this situation. Some people just don't follow that kind of stuff. I don't really think that's really within their the
right.
things that you control necessarily. It just
Mhm.
my thing with movies is like I love watching movies. I ask a lot of questions, but it's cuz I want to know more than what like well why do
Right,
you
than
think they did that?
what they've
Yeah.
shown.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead. That's
I just feel like he
interesting.
could have handled it better. Like, he could have like, it's okay to be frustrated by that, but, like, have a discussion about it and don't just, like, decide from now on you can only handle Hallmark
Yeah, I
movies.
feel like that's a pretty extreme solution. Like you could just try having a conversation with her and
Yeah.
then go from there. But I think if he's feeling like embarrassed by her, then it makes sense that he's like too embarrassed to bring it up too.
Okay, yeah. Good point, yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, it could
Yeah, I thought that
easily
was
be
an
solved
interesting
with
one.
communication, I think.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Am I the asshole for not believing my boyfriend that suddenly became gay in quotation marks due to also in quotation marks your face right now the altitude difference when he was on a work trip in Utah?
Not sure how to answer this one. My main question is how does one suddenly become gay?
Yeah,
This
that's a fair question.
that's the only question that I can't get past that at the moment.
Okay, so let's get into it. I can hardly believe that I'm writing this or that it happened, but I am and it did, so here we are. I, 28 female, have been with my boyfriend, 29 male, for 3 years. Every now and then, he has to go to Utah for a few days because his team has a customer service branch that operates out there. I got a text from one of his coworkers who has become a friend of ours, and it said that on the trip, my boyfriend cheated on me with some guy on the customer care team. I did not believe it at first, but first of all, my boyfriend has always identified as straight. And second of all, I just couldn't believe it. When he got home, I asked him about it, basically expecting him to confirm it was nonsense. Instead, he got real quiet and had us sit down and said he had to tell me something. He said it was true. He did have a in quotations one night stand with a guy. I couldn't believe it. I asked him if he was telling me he was gay or bisexual, and regardless, cheating is cheating. He insisted he was not gay at all, but the, in quotations, the strangest thing happened. He said that when he was at dinner with his Utah coworkers, he, in quotation, suddenly became gay. I was like, what? What the fuck? He said he thinks it was due to the altitude. I was like, you're fucking with me, right? But he said after he had done it with this guy, he got really confused as to how, in quotations, all of a sudden he was gay. He said that higher altitudes can have an impact on how people think and on their emotions, and he thinks that the high altitude made him gay temporarily. He said that as soon as he landed back home, he was back to being straight. I was like, did he get drugged or something? But he said that was impossible. They were always in a group at dinner, which is when he became gay and was only alone with the guy afterwards. He said he had done a lot of thinking on the drive back from the airport, and he confirmed with himself that he is straight and that his only conclusion could be that he was temporarily turned gay due to the altitude. I was like, whatever, I guess we're breaking up. He looked at me confused. I was like, gay or not, you did cheat on me. He said it wasn't his fault, that human actions are just byproduct of accidental brain chemistry, and that his chemistry had been altered through no fault of his own due to the higher altitudes of Utah.
I can't
He said
believe
he couldn't. Right. He said he couldn't believe I would blame him for something medical and scientific that was out of his control. He really looked bewildered that I was angry about this. I don't know, maybe he's convincing and I'm a rube, but I am starting to wonder if I am overreacting. Like, I know it sounds insane, but is it possible to accidentally change your sexual orientation due to emotional changes brought on by altitude? Is that possible? And if it is, am I overreacting? Should I throw away a 3-year relationship over this? He's acting like I'm being rude and weird.
no.
I'm confused.
He's the asshole. No matter which way you spin it, he is the asshole. I can't believe he doubled down on being turned gay by the altitude. Like, we were just like, nope, I'm a firm. I've worked this out with myself. I've confirmed with myself, not gay.
I confirmed on the flight home. Yeah.
I had temporary insanity due to the altitude, and it made me gay.
Which, like, also made me cheat on you, too.
Right.
Because, like, even if he didn't turn gay, say is he just going to sleep with any woman around?
Right.
So
that's okay.
Like, right.
That one was unhinged. That's hilarious.
Shout out my coworker actually sent me this one.
That one was good.
So for this week, for Who's the Better Friend, we are guessing what each other's alternative career paths would have been if we are not in the career paths that we're in now.
Yes.
I'm going to say I'm feeling pretty good about the ones I have for you. Not so much the order that I have them in, but
Okay.
definitely I'm actually like swapping the order as I'm talking, but definitely the ones I've picked I'm feeling pretty good about.
Okay.
Okay, so for number 1, I have artist. And that's just a general
basically,
artist.
yeah, I'll take it. You can have 2 points for that.
2 points, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I have curator, so like museum curator person.
I would say you get 1 point for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good. Okay. Number 3, interior designer.
You get 1 point for that.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I'm a little
Okay, so it's interesting. So I put for number 1, like a gallery owner / art studio. So
Okay.
I gave you 2 points for your first guess, and then your second guess I gave you 1 point because of the gallery. Yeah. So that's why I gave. So you basically got 3 points from that one answer, and then the second thing I put was either fashion design or interior design.
Okay.
And then for number 3, these two are not even similar, but like I couldn't choose. Either a writer or an architect.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. I could see you as an architect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or like
as a kid, cool. I wanted to do both of those. Like those were the 2 things that I was most interested in as a kid. The older I got, I was more into art and design.
Mm-hmm. Neat.
So, You did really
All
good.
right, 4 points. Yeah, you got.
I don't know. I don't know if I can beat 4 points. Okay. So first I put a veterinarian or something with animals.
2 points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's either 1.5 or 2 points,
Either
but we'll
or.
say 2.
Okay.
We'll say 2.
For number 2, I put a park ranger because I feel like you would be an excellent, like,
That would be fun. That one didn't make it.
damn, I wasn't as like confident about that one. Okay, number 3, I put a musician.
That also did not get found on the list. I do like the idea of that though.
Damn. Okay, I can't wait to hear your answers then.
Okay, so number 1, I did zookeeper, which you said anything
Yes.
with animals, so or
Yeah,
something
that
with
makes more
animals.
sense
So
than a vet. Yeah, zookeeper. Okay.
number 2, something to do with coding. I love
Oh,
coding. It's fun. Yeah.
okay.
hmm
Cool.
Number 3, professional horse rider or disc golfer, and I would have accepted either.
I don't know why I didn't think of either of those. I guess because like I was
Yeah,
thinking more like that's more like
like
hobby.
practical. Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if we were going more like what we practically would actually do, or like
Yeah.
what would we do if we could do anything type of thing. Because I don't play good enough to be a professional disc golfer, so that's not super realistic. And same thing with riding horses, but I would if I could.
Yeah. I feel like that's what's interesting about these is that there's no real set definition most of the time. So like it's
Yeah, it
open
is.
to interpretation.
It's fun to see like where the other person goes with it.
Yeah. Yeah. You
hmm
kind of hit on like most of mine. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I was feeling real good about those going in, and it didn't take me
Nice.
long to write those. Yeah, it's
Nice.
fun.
Hell yeah. Okay, so Tori wins. Who's a better friend this week? 4-2, right? 4-2.
Yeah. hmm
And tune in next week. We're gonna talk about our favorite Taylor Swift songs. So this should be interesting because we've done favorite eras before. So that should help inform our favorite songs. But I am curious to see if either of us picks a favorite song that's not on one of our favorite eras.
I'm interested to see.
that that face. Okay. All right. That's good. I'm gonna spend some time on this one. I feel like this one
Yeah.
is not one that you can just be bopped off.
No,
You have
this
to
one's
think
gonna
about
be
it.
really hard
I already wrote one down for
to.
you that I'm pretty sure about.
Okay, I think I know which one it would be. Yeah, this one's gonna be harder for me to list my top 3. I feel like it's hard to like put
Oh,
them in order.
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, this is going to be hard to do. I have a
Do a
playlist
top
that I can
5 for this
reference.
one.
Yeah, we can do 5. Tune in for that next week. That'll be a good one. Okay, so follow us on Instagram at Out of Touch PCast. Follow us on TikTok at Out of Touch Moments. And please send us an email like our lovely Henrietta. You can send us an email at outoftouchcast@gmail.com.
Boom.
Bye.